Yes, this is Memorial Day, a national holiday. It's celebrated the last Monday in May to pay tribute to those who died serving in the military service for our country. And this morning I just want to remember those men and those women who gave their lives for our freedom. And I would also like to remember the families of those that gave their life. And I know they true have sacrificed also, like their husbands or wives have. And if you're here today and you've lost a loved one to war, I want to remember that it was for our freedom, your freedom, and all of our freedoms that they gave their very all. And I hear that slogan and I love to hear it. They gave all, and that's exactly what they did. When you give your life for something, that's all you have. When you give your life for your country, your family, your friends, you're giving all. But I ask you this morning, this is what I want to ask the question. I like to ask questions and as I speak. And this question is, freedom from what? Why are we celebrating freedom? What freedom from what are we celebrating? I want to share a couple of things that talks about our freedom. Yes, freedom to live in America. To live in America. I have traveled all over the world and had the opportunity and travel, and let me tell you, there's no place like America. There's none. I've been to Germany, and I love Germany. I've been to Switzerland, Austria, England, Southeast Asia, and they're all, some places are nice. Southeast Asia wasn't too happy there, but there's no place like home. No place like DeKalb County. I love it here. I love it here. It's a good place to live and raise your family, and there's no place like home. And we have the freedom to live here in America. Wow. There's people all over the world that I've met would love to be in America. Love to get the chance to go. There was even those in the military that would try to get the military guys to marry them so they could go to America. And I don't think it was because of love. They wanted to go to America. They know they'd reach the pot of gold, they thought, when they reached America. But we have the freedom to be here and to live here. We have freedom today to work, go to work. We have the freedom to raise our families, to live the way we want to. I live here in Smithville. I have a freedom to live here. I'm not restricted on where I live like some places are. I have a freedom to work any place that will hire me, any place I can find with my own hands and raise my family. And a lot of people don't have that. They don't have the opportunity to work with their hands. They work for someone else, and their lives are managed by someone else. But America, we are free. We're free to work and earn our own pay and make our own living and buy our own homes and things that we love. We have the freedom in America to attend school, to get our education as far as you want to go. We can go. You can go all the way to a PhD or even more, farther if you can. We have the freedom to do that. And education is one of the greatest things we have in America. A lot of countries don't have that opportunity. Their kids don't get to go to school. They don't get to go even to college. It's a myth, even college. They may go for a few years at school, but in America, you can go as far as you want to and learn as much as you want to. And that's the freedom that God gave us. And our veterans paid the penalty and price for that freedom. We have the freedom to live anywhere we want. We have the freedom to speak what is on our mind without being shocked. Freedom to worship our God. Freedom to read God's Word and to live by it. Well, we're blessed. We're blessed. Many countries, Bibles are not allowed. Many countries, you can get a shot just for having a Bible. You can get killed just for meeting and worshiping the Lord in your own home. We've got a lot of freedoms. We take it for granted. I know we do. I'm guilty of that. But I thank you today that you remembered that, and you remember those that paid for this freedom. It was a big price. It cost to pay for our freedoms. We do take it for granted. We think we will always be able to to work, and we'll always be able to bring our children up the way we want to. We think that we can go to any school we want to. We can speak our mind, and we can worship God freely anywhere we want to. But as a minister of the gospel, I worry about our freedoms. There's already folks that want to monitor the sermons of the preachers. They want to look at the sermons before they're preached to see if there's anything in it that would be disturbing to them, or be. They don't want God to be lifted up. They want the moral condition of the world to continue the way it is. But I'm thankful that we got men of God, and I know many of us, some here, that stick to God's word, and will preach God's word until we have no more breath. We have that freedom, but it was taken. We're not to take it for granted. Our forefathers, they laid out all these rights in the Declaration of Independence and in our Constitution. Where there are those that want to change that, want to change the Constitution, want to amend it, to take things out, to take God out of our Constitution, take God out of all things. They say the Bill of Rights doesn't mean something different than what the original men made it to be. Well, I think it's pretty plain. I believe our country was formed to worship God and to follow God and to abide by His word and to live by His laws instead of laws of others. I believe our forefathers got it right. They built their nation on the Word of God. They believed that God was a guide that we need to live by. Morals in the Bible tell you what our morals should be, and we should live by those. Pilgrims came to America looking for freedom, to worship, to live. And that's what they were looking for. And our Declaration, our laws are based upon that freedom. The men and women who followed and gave their lives for our freedom would be shocked today if they saw some of the things that are going on. I know they would. They would. I'm shocked every day as I look at the news to see some of the things that are going on in America. How people can oppose, and how people will take their American flag and spit on it and walk on it, put it on the YouTube so everybody can see it. Things have changed. Things have changed. I remember growing up in Spencer in the mountain and I remember one day at the courthouse, I remember the flag. Some guys there that had just got out of the jail, and they were upset about being put in jail and about how they were treated. And they got out of jail and they went and they got the flag off the flagpole, and they were burning it, and trying to burn it there on the square. And there were some men that come around to see what was going on, and they saw it. And some of the men that saw it weren't some of your best citizens, I'll tell you that. But they stood up. They went in and stopped it. Even though they weren't the best of citizens, they knew that was their flag too. And they loved their flag. And they did not want anybody to burn it or do damage to their flag. Because when you do that, and what are you saying? You're saying you don't love America. You're saying that you don't care for the things of freedom. You don't care for those that died for us and represented that flag. A godless nation that does not understand where our freedom emerged from and that our country was founded on God and the principles of our word, God's word. I had the privilege, it's been said, serve from 1966 to 1998, 31 years in the Air Force, and I spent a lot of years after active duty in the Air National Guard, on active duty recruiting men to go into the Air National Guard. I volunteered for the Air Force knowing that I possibly would have to give my life. I knew it was possibly going to happen. But I was proud to go. My father, who is 95 now in March, still very active, still gets around. He served and fought in World War II. World War II could qualify probably as the greatest of wars, or one of the most terrible wars of all. In all, in World War II, there were 61 countries with 1.7 billion people involved. 3/4 of the world's population took place in World War II. In terms of money spent, it has been put at more than $1 trillion, which makes it the most expensive war. The human cost of life during World War II, not including the 5 or 6 million Jews killed in the Holocaust, is estimated to have been 55 million dead. 25 million of those military, 30 million of those civilians. While serving in Germany, I had the privilege to visit Dachau prison in Germany. If you don't know, Dachau was a prison camp for the Jews, where the Germans kept the Jews. And while there, I'll tell you, I was brought to tears to the sea, and they had a little museum there in the middle of it. They erected the prison back to pretty much the way it was, but they had some photos there. I don't know who took those photos, but they had photos there of the Jews that were tortured, starved to death. I saw pictures of them hauling them to a gravesite, a hole dug in the ground. They just pushed them in there with equipment. And they were laying there. They were hanging